All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back update and information as you hot. In case it's your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first. We will collect them. All right, let's go down to the news proper as it is hot. It don't share. Finally, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is getting the victory he deserves. Of course, you know that life is one step at a time, and when God wants to do things, he starts from small to big. As it stands, of course, you know that the court in Enugu has lifted the proscription on the indigenous people of Biafra as a terrorist group. And you might not know the history of how the indigenous people of Biafra was proscribed as a terrorist group. It started with Southeast governors. Nigerian government never did anything, was never after the indigenous people of Biafra. It was the Southeast governors that came together and took the matter to court. And that was where the indigenous people of Biafra was proscribed as a terrorist organization. And immediately the Southeast Governors Forum did that, the federal government took it up, it started going international. So you can see now, they can do both no onye mamadu na egbu ya. Asi na ilu na egbu onye uno egbu onye n'isi achi awụ. Obia bụrụ mi odi na onye mamadu na egbu ya na onye uno na egbu onye uno ibi. Obini ya cheta akọ Samson. When the Philistines were looking for Samson, nobody was able to get him. It was only his kinsmen that tied him and took him to the Philistines. Meanwhile, let's go down to the full detail of this information so that you can see what is actually going on. Court verdict on IPOB proscription will liberate Nigerians from government SSEs, Aloy Ejimako. This one is coming from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel, Aloy Ejimako. Let's see what he has to say, even though there was a time he left the struggle. Special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Barrister Aloy Ejimako, has explained how the ruling of Enugu State High Court that the indigenous people of Biafra is not a terrorist organization will save thousands of lives and also liberate Nigerians from government SSEs. Speaking exclusively with the Whistler, Ejimako said the judgment has shown that IPOB is not doing anything wrong. There are many youths being prosecuted on the ground of being members of IPOB with this judgment. IPOB, founded for self-determination, is not doing anything wrong. Members are not committing any wrong, and therefore you cannot grant arrest, detention, and prosecution of any IPOB member, including Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, on the basis of self-determination. The Southeast governors fired the first salve in September 2017, followed by an executive decision by the federal government to proscribe IPOB, and then the declaration of IPOB as a terrorist group organization. Such actions are prohibited expressly under Section 42 of the Nigerian Constitution. It is a fundamental right of every Nigerian not to be discriminated against the exercise of government decisions, policies, and actions. Many Nigerians are not aware of it. We are vigilant to that. We noted that the actions of Southeast governors was an executive action, which was followed 3 days later by the federal government raising a murmur through the Attorney General of the Federation to the President, approving the proscription of the IPOB and declaration of the group as a terrorist organization. All of this combined constitutes the executive action and decision which Section 2 of the Constitution prohibits. It is a fundamental right, meaning you cannot violate it and get away with it. Our case in chief is that there are other ethnic organizations across Nigeria that pursue one interest or the other. Nigerians know them. There is a proliferation of ethnic organizations, with some of them being evidently violent. The FG never took any step to proscribe any one of them or declare any of them a terrorist group. He took this proactive step, supported by Southeast governors in targeting IPOB in particular. He said the legal team which he led took the matter to court to interrogate the actions of Southeast governors in line with the provisions of the Constitution. In his words, you can make all these allegations in the media, but if you don't take them to court to be adjudicated, they remain mere allegations. So we decided that the best thing to do is to test the rightness of wrongness of this decision taken against IPOB. We did and prevailed today by the glory of God. We asked for many things, and they were granted, except that the court doesn't have the jurisdiction on the ongoing criminal proceedings against Kanu because it is already before the Supreme Court. But it graciously granted our request on those reliefs it feels that it has jurisdiction. The Whistler reported that Justice A.O. Onovo on Thursday declared that the proscription of IPOB by Southeast governors and FG was unconstitutional and a violation of fundamental rights of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The judge also ruled in favor of Kanu that self-determination is not a crime. The court also granted the relief that a public apology be tendered to Kanu in 3 national dailies and awarded 8 billion monetary compensation to the IPOB leader. The court did not order his release because it was before the Supreme Court. My people, una don't see as it happen because power don't they change hand. This same court was the same court that ruled that IPOB is a terrorist organization, and now they are turning back to change their ruling, even though they said it is not in their jurisdiction to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu since the matter has already been taken to the Supreme Court. But as you go, you can see that victory is coming, little by little, because the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And I will still hold my word on no onye malo mmadụ onye na-egbu onye. You saw what happened between that. The first people that started pursuing this matter was the Southeast Governors Forum. Had it been they did not uphold this matter, to make sure that IPOB is proscribed as a terrorist organization, the federal government will not take it up. So I will say that they are the one that sold their brother. They are the one that sold their brother. And it was during the time of Dave Umahi. I think Dave Umahi was the then chairman of the South Governors Forum. And he was the one that took this case up. And of course, you remember that at about that time, that Umahi has this ambition of becoming the president of Nigeria. Of course, he took the ticket, which he did not even get up to 3 voters in the primary. In the primary election of that campaign. So these people sold their brother, sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because of their personal interest, because they felt that they had interest in the executive arm of the government. They wanted to become president, so they were doing everything possible to please their taskmaster. And one funny thing about the Southeast politicians is that I'm still wondering why they are still fearful in nature, why they are still serving the nation. If you say that Nigeria is a nation that hosts 3 regions, it means that there is what is called equal right and justice. It means that you don't need to beg anybody to have what belongs to you because it is your right. But what is happening is that these governors in the Southeast and most of the politicians in the Southeast, they are buying this power by themselves. Yes, and you think that if you bought power in the state level, that you can buy it in the federal level. Now lie. Because somebody that is sitting there already will not allow you to come in because he knows what you are capable of. When you bought power from him, he already knows what you are capable of. And there is this simple saying that when you gossip to me about somebody, I will not tell you my own because I already know that is the same way you will carry my own and go and tell other people. Because a gossiper is a gossiper, whether you like it or not. So, but the main thing is that victory is coming at last. Victory is coming at last. Victory is coming at last. Meanwhile, I got to wind down the curtain, and if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, share. Biko, don't listen to our news alone. Biko wanne, yaro kwara gemma maru kwara mumma.